Alright folks, so today we are reviewing the Real Milk Paint Company's Citrus Solvent. This is a solvent that you use for painting with oil that I've heard from other painters that use this. This is really cool. This company does not specialize or cater towards fine artists. This is actually used for cutting boards and to break down some of the oils that are used to get in and treat those and protect those cutting boards. This is food grade safe. However, the vapors are very strong, but it does not contain any petroleum distillates. It is as far as 98% citrus oil, and the rest is either water or preservative. So seems pretty safe. What can you say? So let's go ahead and try this out. Let's give it a shot. Let's run it through some tests. I'm going to do a mixing test. I'm going to do a painting test on canvas. We're also going to go do some plein air, and I'll try and do a studio portrait at the end, and then we'll wrap up my findings on that. So, all right, let's stay tuned. Let's put this to work. All right, so for today, we've been discussing this. I'm going to put a little bit in a cup. I'm going to mix it around on the palette here just to kind of see how the mix goes, and then do a little bit of sample painting on a test canvas here, and just to kind of see how mixing goes. I'm not really going to try and do a painting with this so much as just really testing this out. So let's go ahead, and the first thing I want to do is, well, I want to put some gloves on. For those that you need gloves fast, it looks like these are pretty affordable. These were at Home Depot. I think they were just like just under 20 bucks for 100, so that's not bad. They are not as good as what I got from Uline. So far, Uline gloves are the best gloves, nitrile gloves I've ever gotten. I can use them multiple times. These, unfortunately, are super thin, and they tend to rip. But then again, I'm hard on things, and my brushes scream for help and mercy, or a quick death when I paint with them. Well, not really, but I am pretty hard on my brushes. Hence, let's go ahead and open this up, and let's see how we have. Now, I have smelled Neil's, and it didn't smell too bad outside. I mean, you can smell the citrus, but it wasn't like overpowering. However, we're only going to pour just a little bit into this cup here. We're not going to, just a little bit, not much, because I don't want to have a whole container. If you happen to have been on my site, liquidmethod.com, and you happen to go and read my experience with painting with the spike lavender from Chelsea, you may have read what a disaster that was, and the comments below. I can honestly say I would never recommend that stuff ever. Okay, so the first observation, it smells like orange peel. It almost smells a little bit like Goo Gone. So there is that nice little that smell. It's not overpowering, but that could change. So we're going to be there. I think that's all I need, or just a little bit, not much. I'm going to go ahead and cover this up. So yeah, I want to get to the bottom of this as far as this is main ingredient is citrus peel. Food contact safe, can be used as a cleaning agent of wax and grease. Used as a straight solvent, can replace a wide variety of products, and including mineral spirits and all the other nasty stuff out there. Warning though, keep heat from, it's flammable. Okay, and it says skin contact, wash with water for 15 minutes. Well, this is why we wear gloves, folks, because I just spilled this. That's okay. If you have never discovered the joy of Viva you must. Viva is the best paper towel. Oh no! Alright, so it's dripping around here. I have really kind of made a little bit of a mess, but we're going to clean that up a little bit. There we go. Alright. So, there's still enough in here. I'm going to pour just a little bit more for my boo-boo. Once again, even after spilling it, not much of a smell. So let's go ahead and pour just a little bit more. There. I'll try that. Let's mix a little bit. Let's do a little bit of palette knife mixing. So happy accident, as Bob Ross would say. Let's go ahead and mix this down and we'll see the transparency. Now I broke this glass. If you're going, well, it doesn't look like you've painted much. Yeah, I shattered this. So this is brand new. I'm breaking in. Got a tempered glass. Had a regular glass. This is Joshua Bean's Daytripper. I swear by this. This is an amazing planer piece of equipment, palette. But I digress. I like the thinness of that. That's good. Looks good. Now, full transparency here. I've talked to some friends and they didn't like that. They said that there was some tackiness to this, so we're going to explore that as well. So, okay, so the smell on this still smells like oranges. And probably should use this for outdoors. But for this experiment, that's why I'm not pouring a whole bunch. I'm really kind of under the impression that, you know, if you're going to paint in the studio, have some ventilation. It does smell okay. I just need to get a little bit more clarification from the milk paint company about this. Now, if we go back to this, let's go back to this guy. Let's make sure it's closed. Inhalation. What I don't see here, folks, and let's just read this again because this is one thing that, so we have to be aware of combustible, so no smoking while using this. Keep out of reach of children, captain obvious, eye contact, yes, skin contact, or check here. Do not apply oils unless directed by, do not apply oils or ointments to your skin. Okay. That's for the skin contact. Inhalation. Move to fresh air immediately if breathing is difficult. Okay. All right. So what they don't say is use in a ventilated area. I'm curious about this because if it's safe to use in a non-ventilated area, then we've gotten a little bit further than some of the other ones like Gamsol. Let's take a look at the Gamsol real quick. So I use Gamsol, Gamblin. They make a great product. It is great for painting. However, probably not good in an enclosed area. However, the standard for studio safety. Let's see here. I believe. Yeah. So thin oil paintings. Blah blah blah. I love their paints. Okay, let's go look here at the fine print. So we have. Okay, vapor harmful. Okay, look, this is what we're looking at. Vapor is harmful. Contains petroleum distillates. Okay, so harmful. So that means that we should be in a ventilated place when we use Gamsol. Sorry, little spider, but I've been bitten by spiders and it's not fun. Avoid ingestion. Yes, captain obvious. Use with adequate ventilation. This is where we didn't see. There's not anything about ventilation. It's just like if you have, I guess, an allergic reaction. I'd like to get more from the real milk paint company because if this is something that you can use safely in the studio and not have to worry about the vapors, then yeah, this is a win so far. But we're not done with our test. We still have to test how the viscosity of the oil mixes and tackiness. So we're going to be doing tests throughout the day and So see how that goes. So let's get started. Nice and smooth. I like that. That's good. I've got some paint that I picked off of one of my other palettes, and it's a little dry, a little gummy. And it's not too gummy, but a little gummy. Let's go ahead and dip that in there, and let's mix in and see what we get. Now, some people like to paint super thin, super thin, almost treat oils like watercolor. And I myself like to do this for underpaintings. So far, I like that. Looks really nice. Okay. I'm enjoying that. Let's go ahead and swirl it around. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. I don't sense any tackiness right off the bat, but that could change. So it looks good. Alright. Let's try this one here. Yeah. Looks good. Alright, pick that off. Alright, so I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that up in a little bit. I'm going to add some more paints, and we're going to just do a little bit of painty paint. Have some fun with that. And let's give that a shot. But wait, I forgot. I want to mix this stuff. I mean, it's one thing to break this down, but let's try mixing a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of this and mix it in. Make sure. Yeah, makes this fine. Let's go ahead and add some little bit of yellow. Yeah, looks good right there. Just like Gamsol. It has got a nice buttery feel to it, so that's great. It was a great performance there. Let's add a little bit of white. Then we got out of this. Alright, so we get, let's see if I can, yeah, we get a very nice mix. Just everything I would have expected from a mineral spirits medium. So yeah, great, awesome. So I think we've got a winner as far as mixability. Smell, so far, it's not overpowering. I mean, it smells like orange peels, but nothing like I'm gagging or overpowering. But I'm going to give the full report. I want to kind of give an after action report as well, because with the previous product I had used, particularly the spiked lavender, as soon as I painted with it and I closed up everything else, the painting itself just reeked and stunk up, and it took days for it to get out of my garage. It was not the best experience. So far, not so bad, but we're going to give an after action report tomorrow. See if, like, you know, hey, does the painting here linger and kind of give off weird smells? So yeah. We're going to test out a variety of brushes and tests. I'm really not going to do any painting with this, but we are going to test some stuff. Let's just go ahead and, I want to do thin stuff, so I want to just like, very nice. Look at that. Now this is on a Jerry's canvas panel. Very nice. You see, very nice, very thin wash. Very, very nice. Very nice control. I like that. I have to say, I'm really impressed with the thinness here. It's just, it's really nice. And I can see why my friend Neil, Hughes, and by the way, just congrats Neil. He won Artist Choice uh, and a Waterman's Award at Plein Easton. In my opinion, did an incredible painting. Probably, my humble opinion, his best plein air painting I've seen him do yet. And he rightly so won Artist Choice. And he uses this, and that's how we got to hear this video review. Wow, look at that. What just amazing. I like that. Let's just keep going. Look at that. It's just, look at that. That's great. So let's try something else. Let's go ahead and we've used kind of flat with this. But let's go ahead and we're going to juice this up a little bit. And let's see about drippy drip. You know what I'm talking about, drippy drip. We're going to load this up here and let's try this. Let's see if we can get this thing to drip a little bit and see how, because you know how with Gamsol you can get those drippy drips. Now this isn't as watery as Gamsol. I do notice that it's a little, now that I'm playing with it, it's not like, it's taking a considerable amount. There we go. There's the drippy drip. Let's watch that. Yeah. Okay. Nice flow. So for those that like to do those really cool drippy drips, let's see how this goes. I like the run here and the build up right at the bottom. How it collects looks good. Let's add a little bit more and see how that goes. Looking good. Looking good. Yeah. But it takes a considerable amount, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you can get it to drip. And see, now it's really going down. It does. Let's just see. Let's see. I'll load this up a little bit more and let's see if I can just mix that piece down. So I got a flake here, and we're going to try and see if we can break down that flake. It looks like it's breaking down, so here we go. Let's work at it. Now this is a soft bristle brush. This is not a hog's hair. So, and it appears that it's breaking the paint down. So that's good. We're getting a little bit of drippy drip. Not as much as we would have from considerable more effort to get a drippy drip than you would from Gamsol. And look, it's breaking down that piece. So as I work it into the canvas, it's doing its job. Yeah, it's breaking down really nicely. All right, so we got some drip. Yeah, not bad. Not as fluid. It looks like it's picking up a little bit of the edges of the canvas here. Nah, I think that's really kind of subjective. All right. So the next test I want to do before we start to paint a little bit thicker is I want to try a wipe away. So let's just assume that I don't like what I want. I'm going to dip this into here. Once again, shout out to Viva. You are the best. There is no alternative to Viva. Viva is the best paper towel. Sorry, Bounty. All right, let's do some wipe away here. Let's just try the drippy. Actually, let's make some marks here because I want to keep this up here for a photo. I'm just thinking ahead, folks. Okay, let's go thick here, and yeah, nice. And full disclosure, this is paint that I'd already used, so that's why you see some of those paint flakes. This is paint that has been in a previous session. Oops, didn't mean to put there. Okay, so let's just say we are not happy with splotchy splotch and we want to remove it. Let's see how this stuff does. Ooh, really nice. Very nice. So we get a nice clean cut. So this stuff really cuts through, which is good. I'd say this is on par with Gamsol. Yeah, really nice. Did a clean wipe. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that. Once again, the smell's not overwhelming, but it does smell like I have an orange under my nose. So if you don't like that smell, then maybe this isn't for you. All right, let's go with a hog's hair. So I'm going to go ahead and use Filbert here. So I'm going to use Mr. Filbert. So let's go ahead and try that. We're going to try to apply thick. And I got some gummy stuff in there, so I'm just going to mix it in real good. I'm going to keep this one color just because I want to make sure that this is so far mixing. I haven't really noticed a tack yet. Like some artists have said, that could happen. I don't know what the evaporation rate on this. I don't know if it dries slow or dries fast. This may require us to go outside and paint outdoors, which I think is great. Another excuse to go paint outdoors. What could be better? All right, so let's go ahead and let me add a little bit more paint here. And if you're wondering what kind of paint I use, I'm using Gamblin. Yeah, they're pretty solid paints. And I primarily paint with Gamblin. Okay. So it does mix well so far, just like I would with oil. Let's go ahead and load it up here. Let's get a thick. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and add another one here. And let's get one more. All right, so yeah, I'm pretty impressed with these here. Also very impressed here. The gradation is incredible. And the wipe away, the drip. So far, everything looks great. Let's try some palette knife application here. So I'm also going to try and clean the brush, but we'll save that for later because I want to get a video of that. Let's try a palette knife with application here. So let's try with the thin mix that I've got. Okay, and we'll go over here. Let's try this. Okay, pretty nice. Now, I like to do thin edge work. Let's see how that works. Ooh, that looks good. It's about what I would expect. Let's go a little bit thicker. I don't think I got as much paint as I wanted to on there. Okay, let's try a little bit on the angle. Let's try it. Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice. We'll go a little bit thicker. Let's go even thicker. Yeah, so pretty nice palette. yeah, pretty good. Everything that I would expect. I think the thing is when we're trying a different medium, we kind of like to have it perform like what we're used to previously, but with less harmful chemicals. And so if the vapor is safe, then that's a huge win. Still need to wear gloves, but so far so good. All right. Let's try a brayer. So that's my next thing. My brayers are a little bit shot. And if you're saying, what is a brayer? This, folks, is a brayer made by Speedball. Speedball. There we go. Speedball. Okay. Now, what you're seeing in the middle there, that's probably due to the swelling on this. So if I had a brand new brayer, that probably wouldn't happen, but it's okay. So far, performs as I would expect from Gamsol. So I can get a nice little buildup of an edge. Yeah, let's cut away. Well, I'm not sure that really is effective, that or not, honestly, but so far, yeah, I like the brayer. It works good. I'm gonna try and clean the brayer, so I dip this in. I dipped this in the thing, so let's see how well it cleans. Okay, does a good job. Cleans off pretty quickly. So let's review. Let's review some of the marks here that we've done, and then we'll go on to further tests. So the first thing we did was did a light application. Did wonderful here with a flat, and we have a nice gradation here. We also then did a drip, and it did start to break down old pieces of oil, but it did do a drip here, and as you can see, it's starting to fade out a little bit, and it gets thick down here, so that worked. We did a wipe away here. Look at that nice clean wipe. And then we did thicker with a hog's hair brush. We also did some palette knife marks, and they performed well. And then we did the brayer, which is good. And this is only part of the test. I'm going to come back later, and I'm going to see if this is tacky, how wet or how dry this is, just to see right now. You know, it's hard to tell, but I'm curious to see, and I'll also test the palette as well. I'm curious to see what happens with the paint over time. But so far, I got to say, I'm very impressed. We only used a little bit. Do I smell oranges? Yes. Do I feel overwhelmed by the smell? No. Everybody's different though, so I'm not going to say this is perfectly safe. But there was no vapor warning. That's critical. There was no vapor warning about this in an enclosed area, which I'm going to reach out to the Real Milk Paint Company. We're going to look into that and see if I can get an answer and say, hey, is this safe to paint indoors? And see what kind of answer I get back from them. I'm hoping that I'll hear something from them. So that's encouraging. So I'm going to step out for right now, and I'll be right back because of the power of video editing, and we'll see from there. All right, so we have seen from the mixing and painting test on the canvas that it performed pretty well. I really enjoyed it. The scent wasn't overwhelming, and I really liked the results. So the next thing that I'm going to be covering is going outdoors and painting. Nice little plein air painting. Should be fun. We're going to be going out to Pungo and hopefully find something really cool to paint. All right, everybody. Today I'm going to be doing a plein air painting. I'm going to be using Milk Paints Citrus Solvent and testing it out. I'm going to have it out in direct sunlight, see how it performs. It's a little bit windy today, but found a really cool place to paint. And we're going to go ahead and get started, see how Citrus Solvent performs out in direct sun. Let's get painting.
Alright guys, I'm just doing a little bit of a sketch here with my yellow ochre, like I normally do. And I wanted to share with you some of the process here that with this milk paint citrus oil works really well. It's rare that you find something that works exactly what you used to use. This does a good job. There are some variances. One of the things I noticed is that this here, right, get over here, it does seem to dry pretty quick compared to, like, I mean, I just literally finished this. So if this was Gamsol, this would still be somewhat wet, but I can already start to feel it's drying. So that's kind of why I wanted to do it in direct heat, to really kind of push it. But overall, one of the things that I did like about this is that I was able to wipe away this line here. I put a barn, I didn't like it, so I wiped it away, and it worked out pretty good. And same thing here, I wiped away some areas. And so even though it seems to, get tacky here, it hasn't prevented me from doing a wipe away in this process so far. So everything right now looks pretty good. So, all right, let me get back to painting. Hey guys, I am done with my painting, and I have to say it was pretty good results. I didn't do anything fancy. I stuck to what I usually do, and there were some differences. I mean, it's Gamsol is definitely going to be different than what I'm using here is the real milk paint citrus oil. But I enjoyed it. It was a good session. I didn't really have any major issues with it. Pleasant smell, outdoors, plenty of aerated as they recommended. So yeah, I'm gonna just give you guys a little zoom through here. Alright, and so here we go. This is the painting. So as you can see here, not any different than my other paintings as far as plein air. This was a fun session. Can't tell you enough how enjoyable it was, the sounds, and as far as the palette, no different. Mixed well, blended well. I didn't really experience too much of the tackiness that everybody had been telling me about. Like some were saying it was really too tacky. I didn't find that too much. Did it glide as much as the Gamsol? No, Gamsol did glide much better. So I was applying the citrus solvent. It worked pretty well. I didn't notice any stickiness that was too bad. There was a little bit compared to the Gamsol. Gamsol does glide on a little bit better to fill in, especially with the canvas. I'm going to zoom in and see how much you guys can see here. There are some areas that I did have to, kind of go over a little bit more, especially over in the corner here and over there. So there was a little bit of stickiness, I guess, if you want to call it that. Really not anything performance-wise I would have really been concerned with. So overall, I feel like this was a good outing. If you enjoyed this little review, I hope you will check out more of my videos of plein air painting and some kinds of our tech review. Today we did the milk paint citrus solvent. As far as no harmful vapors, you still should wear gloves. I did. That's why you can see the tan line on my hands. So yes, but it was a good experience. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it another test in the studio, and we'll wrap up this review of the milk paint citrus solvent. And so yeah, let's go ahead and pack up. It's going to storm, as you can see here, but there are beautiful clouds. Look at that. Man, I wish I could have done another painting. So yeah. Alright guys, I will see you later. What a beautiful sky. Alright, so this was the plein air painting. Wanted to kind of give it under some studio light. One of the things that I did have some problems with is that just connecting little areas of the canvas so it doesn't show through. So I had little spots here, but I was able to resolve that. There did seem to be a little bit of attack, but overall it was an enjoyable experience. I really enjoyed it. It didn't dry super fast. One thing I will say that I liked about this, and I'm not 100% sure, but sometimes when I go to sign my name with Gamsol, it gets a little too watery, and this allowed me to get a nice sharp signature. So I was a fan of that. I'm not sure if this is just a fluke or conditions, whatnot. As you can remember, I did a little performance test this morning, and in addition, I kind of wanted to see as far as did it dry fast. And let me get a good paper towel. All right, there we go. I got a good Viva. What I'm gonna do is, as you can see here, this is clean. What I'm gonna do is just dab it. Okay, so it's still wet. Still wet there, but it's not, it's wet to touch, but not sopping wet. This over here, it's not on the finger. So what this is telling me is that the citrus, see here, look at that. I did that this morning. If I'd have done this with Gamsol, I don't think I would have gotten this result. So what it tells me is that the citrus solvent does dry faster. This could be a good thing. This could be a good thing for plein air painters. This could also be a not so good thing, just depending on if you want to rework areas, because at this point I'm going to have to considerably work harder to remove marks. So let me get some gloves on here, and we're going to actually try that. Let's try that with the get some nitrile gloves on, because I'm going to actually go touch the stuff. And I'm going to pour it into a little bit of a container once again. This dried out, so just to let you guys know, I didn't empty it out. It actually dried out overnight, overnight when I did the test. So let's go ahead and there we go. Put a little bit more in this time. I can tell you, I can't remember if I did this last night or I did this morning. It's been a crazy day. Alright, so I'll put it into a rag here. Let's see what happens. Is this going to instantly... Ooh, look at that. That's pretty impressive. Let's go with a little bit thicker area. Dip it a little bit more, squeeze it out. Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I have to say, I like that. It does wipe away really good. But let's go over here. Let's see how that works, because this was a little bit thicker here. So let's give this a shot. So it's taking considerably more effort. Not bad though, really. I mean, not bad, considering that this is still wet up here. So but this here had kind of dried to the touch. It wasn't completely dry or cured, but not bad. This is pretty impressive, so I like that. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna pause, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get the brush washer out that I had filled and painted outside. I'm gonna open it up and do a little bit of portrait painting here. All right, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is a studio painting. I'm going to use the citrus solvent with that. I'm going to do something a little bit different since we know that the vapors are not harmful, unlike some of the petroleum distillates that are in Gamsol and turpentine and other mediums. I'm going to be going over this, and I'm going to actually have a brush washer nearby, and I'm going to try to see how much the odor is. Is it too much for me? Should I have stuck with a little bit, or is it safe to just keep a brush washer open? So let's go ahead and give that a shot. So, in full disclosure, I actually had the brush washer filled with the citrus solvent directly underneath me, as I would when I was plein air painting. How do you say? I'd get a little bit of a stronger whiff, so I've actually moved it over to the side about 2 feet from where I normally would paint. So before I was having it directly underneath, and being directly underneath, I was getting direct whiffs, and I was like, oh, maybe that's not so great. So once again, this is just a test. I don't recommend this. I just wanted to see how it would be. I've done this before with other solvents, and the results were horrendous. There's a blog about it. I won't get into it now, but let's just say I no longer use that product, and I had to throw the painting away. This, though, has been used by other artists, and I've been given really good feedback from them, and so this is why I'm doing this video, is to kind of give you guys a little bit of a how would you say, experience, just so you can kind of see what I'm going through right now. Citrus smell, not so heavy, except when it's directly under your nose. So it's off to the side 2 feet, not so bad. Once again, the Milk Paint Company says the vapors are not harmful. They are strong, but not harmful. So we will go with that. So I'm going to do a little bit of a portrait demo on here, and we'll see how this goes. This is going to be long. I just want to say, like, maybe give myself maybe about 30-40 minutes. See how it goes. I figured that's enough time to, you know, say, hey, is this really something I want to use in the studio as a whole, like with a brush washer, or should I just use little bits, little small containers? Let's find out. So one of the things I did want to talk about also was the fact that this, see that? I wash my brush with this citrus solvent, and that's weird. That's never happened before. Like, what is this? Really? So I'm wondering, you know, is this going to destroy my brushes? I can get it back to a nice tip like that. So just observations. But yeah, it's like, what is this? So if it destroys the brush, good thing I haven't spent a lot of money on these brushes. But in the pursuit, yeah, kind of get it back in stuff. So in the pursuit of, you know, looking for it, yeah, there's still a little bit of paint in there. So that's probably part of me not cleaning the brush, but still, I wouldn't have gotten that from Gamsol. Alright guys, for the sake of brevity, I had to speed this video up. It was just too long. I thought I'd say, oh, let me just do 30 minutes, and my ego got the best of me. I needed to finish this out And I really wanted to see how putting, a thicker layer on there would perform with the citrus solvent. For the most part, I would say the performance was great. Uh, it wasn't as watery as Gamsol, but I didn't have any performance issues. None whatsoever. No problems blending, no problems washing the brushes, cleaning them. It performed as any of the other solvents I've used in the past, as far as the ones that you would like turpentine or Gamsol. Gamsol being the number one that I've used for many, many years now. It performed wonderfully. I can't say enough about it. It was great. I would not keep that open brush washer lid open and 2 feet away from me. Me personally, I felt that the odor was strong, but it didn't impede my performance of painting and thinking, or I didn't feel dizzy. I didn't feel nauseous. I didn't feel sick to my stomach. I didn't feel lightheaded. Didn't have any problems breathing or swallowing. I didn't notice any allergic reactions, and I do have allergic reactions to certain things, so I didn't experience any of that, which is great. But I would probably use a much smaller container. I probably would recommend for those starting out, try that. Try a smaller container, maybe like one of those little rinky-dink containers you can get at Jerry's, rather than a big brush washer. So give that a shot. That said, this was a great trial, and I didn't have problems with the brushes, but that does, speaking of brushes, let's get into that. There was no issues with the performance of brushes, but this is not a test that I can really give in a day or two. This is going to take time. I'll probably try to do a follow-up and say, hey, did these really tear up my brushes? I'm already hard enough on my brushes as it is. I don't need anything else helping that along. I don't want to make my wallet cry any more than it does when I step into an art store and I see things and I must have. That said, how will it affect the brushes? Hog hair brushes are pretty resilient, but some of these other synthetic brushes I've not had great experience with in longevity. Would I, how would they perform with, the thinner, lighter haired brushes, like the mongoose haired brushes or the squirrel hair brushes, or some of those finer brushes for detail? I don't know. I have no idea, but I will try to do a follow-up. I'll also follow up as far as the other thing that I thought about was walnut oil. While it's safe to use, you have to be careful of the rags when you dispose. They can spontaneously combust and cause fires. So you need to have a fireproof container. I would probably recommend this because I just don't know. I wouldn't want to leave rags just, something, oh, by the way, these would spontaneously combust. Fire bad. I'll follow up with that if I can find any information from the milk paint company. I will say that it did evaporate when I was using the little clear container. The next day, that was already gone. Yeah. That said, everything else was pretty good. The brushes. Will they last longer? I don't know. Will they last shorter? I don't know. Do the rags combust? I don't know. Play it safe. The vapors, play it safe. You listen to your own body. All right. So, well, let's go ahead and get back to this. See what I left out, if you can, before the next edit, and I tell you. But wait, I forgot the rose. Oh my goodness. So let's do this rose real quick. I'll give myself 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That's all I get. Just 2 minutes. Let's just throw in a rose in here real quick.
All I care about is that this looks somewhat like a rose. I'm not going to care about oh, this is perfect like a rose. No, I don't have the luxury. I just need to fake it. That's all I need to do is fake it enough to say, okay, this looks like a rose. No more, no less. All right. I've made you guys endure way more than you signed up for. So, there you go. Now I'm done. Now I'm done. All right, guys. Catch you on the next video.
All right, so I had some questions for the Real Milk Paint Company. I called them up, and they were actually really cool about answering my questions. The first thing I wanted to say, are there any petroleum distillates in this? It wasn't any listed. They said no, it's actually safe. I asked, are the vapors harmful? No, they are not harmful. They can be strong, but they're not harmful. So that was a big win. The other thing that I really liked about this was the performance of this. It really did seem to perform very similar to Gamsol, as we saw with the brush test, the studio painting, the plein air. It really seemed to run through the gamut and do everything. I didn't notice any discoloring or any changes. If I do, I will let you guys know. But once again, this breaks down. And the paintings, when they're done, there's no odor on them. There's no like citrus oil. Yeah, no odor. And these just were painted only a few days ago, which is, really nice. And they're dry to touch. Even better. So, I have to say, I don't have any kind of rating system, but this stuff is, going to be used in my painting equipment from going forward. I really did enjoy this. So, like I said, this was $50, and it didn't take long to get here. It shipped from Tennessee, I believe it was, or Kentucky. They were very responsive on the phone call. They have a lot of good information on their website as well. I can't say enough. I'm a fan for right now until something changes. If it changes, I hope it doesn't. But right now, I really enjoy this, and I can't recommend it enough for those that are looking for a safer alternative. There are other safer alternatives, though. Let's not forget that. There are water-soluble oils. There are also guano oil. Now, this excludes the issue with cadmium paints. You still should wear gloves when you're painting anything with cadmium or cobalt, okay? And they did recommend, when I called the company, they said, yes, it's probably a good idea to wear gloves with this. So make sure that you're wearing nitrile gloves. Keep your hands safe. I did get a little bit on my hands at handling it a little bit. Washed my hands right away. No ill effects, nothing like that. And the smell wasn't that bad. It is strong, but it wasn't like, overpowering like I've done with some reviews with spike lavender. I had to throw the painting away on that one, so rest my case. All right, guys, thanks again, and I will see you soon. Happy painting.